The story of Saint Theodore the Tyro.
Subscribe to our channel to receive more content like this.
Long ago, during the early years of the Roman Empire, there lived a young soldier named Theodore. He was known as Theodore the Tyro, meaning Theodore the Recruit, for he was a new member of the Roman army. Brave, disciplined, and full of promise, Theodore served in the ranks of Emperor Maximian's forces in the city of Amasea, what is now modern-day Turkey. Yet, beneath his armor and helmet, Theodore carried something far greater than a soldier's courage. He carried the light of Christ in his heart. At that time, being a Christian was dangerous. The Roman Empire demanded loyalty to its gods, and soldiers were required to offer sacrifices to idols as a sign of obedience. Refusing to do so could be seen as treason, a crime punishable by death. But Theodore's faith could not be hidden. Even as he stood among hardened warriors, he prayed silently to the true God, asking for strength to remain faithful no matter the cost. One day, word spread that the emperor had ordered all soldiers to make public offerings to the pagan gods. The order reached Theodore's unit, and the men prepared to gather at the temple. When the time came, Theodore stood still as others stepped forward, each offering incense to the statue of the Roman deities. But when it was his turn, he refused. With calm conviction, he declared, "I worship only Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. I cannot serve idols made by human hands." His fellow soldiers stared in shock. Some urged him to reconsider, whispering that he could just pretend to obey and save his life. But Theodore stood firm. He knew his faith could not be compromised for convenience. His commanding officer, alarmed by his defiance, tried to reason with him. "Theodore," he said, "you're young and strong. Do not throw away your future. Offer this small sacrifice and all will be forgotten." But Theodore simply replied, "My only king is Christ, and I will not betray him." For that, he was arrested and imprisoned. The other soldiers thought his courage was madness. In the cold darkness of his cell, Theodore prayed. He asked not for rescue, but for the strength to stand firm. And it was said that during the night, a radiant light filled his prison, and angels comforted him, assuring him that his faith would not be in vain. After several days, Theodore was brought before the governor of Amasea, a man named Publius. The governor demanded that Theodore renounce his faith and worship the Roman gods, promising him riches and honor if he complied. But Theodore remained unmoved. Enraged by his steadfastness, the governor ordered him to be beaten. Yet, even as he suffered, Theodore continued to pray, praising God aloud. Later, while still under guard, Theodore learned that a grand festival was being prepared to honor the goddess Cybele. Thousands of citizens would come to worship her, offering sacrifices and burning incense. Seeing the people's devotion to false gods, Theodore's heart burned with sorrow. He decided to act, not out of anger, but out of zeal for the truth. Late one night, he slipped away and made his way to the temple of Cybele. With quiet determination, he set fire to the idol's sanctuary. The flames leapt high, consuming the wooden statue and spreading through the temple. By morning, the great shrine lay in ashes. The city erupted in chaos, and soon Theodore was found and dragged before the authorities once more. When questioned, Theodore did not deny his actions. "Yes," he said calmly, "I burned your temple. For how can the house of a false god stand when the living God reigns over heaven and earth?" The governor was furious. "You have insulted the gods and the emperor," he shouted. But Theodore stood tall, his eyes steady and peaceful. "I have served my emperor in battle," he said, "but I will never serve those who cannot speak, see, or hear. My soul belongs to Christ alone." Seeing that threats would not change his heart, the governor ordered him to be tortured. Theodore was beaten and chained, but no cry of despair escaped his lips. Witnesses said his face remained calm, as if filled with a holy light. When the torturers demanded that he give in to save his life, Theodore smiled gently and replied, "You may destroy my body, but you cannot touch my soul." Finally, the governor ordered that Theodore be burned alive. A great crowd gathered as soldiers tied him to a stake. Flames rose around him, but instead of fear, Theodore lifted his voice in prayer, thanking God for the honor of dying for his name. Those who watched said that the fire seemed to dance around him without consuming his body until he peacefully gave up his spirit. It was around the year 306 AD when Theodore, the young recruit, became a martyr of Christ. His faith had triumphed over the power of an empire. Years later, the story of Saint Theodore spread throughout the Christian world. Churches were built in his honor, and his courage inspired countless others to stand firm in their faith. Even centuries later, people still spoke his name with reverence. One of the most beautiful traditions that emerged in his memory was the miracle of the boiled wheat. It was said that during a later persecution, Theodore appeared in a vision to the Archbishop of Constantinople, warning him not to eat food that had been defiled by pagan sacrifices. Instead, he told the Christians to boil wheat and eat it. This simple act became a symbol of purity and faithfulness, reminding believers that God always provides for those who trust in Him. Today, Saint Theodore the Tyro is remembered as one of the first military martyrs of the Christian Church, a soldier who fought not with weapons but with faith. His life reminds us that courage does not come from power or strength, but from conviction. True bravery is standing for what is right, even when the world stands against you. His story continues to echo through time, calling each of us to ask, what are we willing to stand for? Like Saint Theodore, may we hold fast to our beliefs, no matter the cost, trusting that the flame of faith, once lit, can never be extinguished.